Kilojoule. A unit of energy equivalent to 1000 joules, often used to measure energy in food and exercise. Energy unit. Power unit. Energy measure. Work unit. How does the kilojoule relate to our daily energy consumption? The kilojoule is commonly used to quantify energy intake, especially in food labeling, as it helps to measure the energy unit that food provides. It also plays a role in exercise and diet plans by tracking the power unit expended during physical activity. By using energy measures, people can make informed decisions about their daily work unit requirements to maintain a healthy lifestyle. Tare weight. The weight of an empty container used to calculate the net weight of its contents. Container weight. Empty weight. Gross weight. Net weight. Why is tare weight important when calculating the total weight of goods? Tare weight is essential for accurately calculating the total weight of goods, as it represents the container weight without any contents. By subtracting the empty weight of a container from the gross weight, we can determine the net weight of the product inside. This process ensures that transportation and shipping costs are fair and that product quantities are correctly measured. Decibel. A unit used to measure sound intensity or power, often abbreviated as dB. Sound level. Noise level. Volume. Loudness. How do decibels play a role in regulating noise levels? Decibels are crucial in regulating noise levels in various environments, such as in workplaces or urban areas. They provide a standardized way of measuring the sound level of noise, ensuring that it doesn't exceed certain thresholds. By monitoring noise levels, authorities can prevent harmful levels of exposure to high volume. Loudness can also be adjusted in sound equipment to maintain a safe and comfortable auditory environment. Lux. A unit of illumination equal to 1 lumen per square meter used to measure light intensity. Light intensity. Brightness. Illumination. Lighting level. How does lux contribute to determining optimal lighting in a room? The measurement of lux is essential for determining the right lighting in various spaces. For instance, it helps in assessing the light intensity required for tasks such as reading or working. By controlling the brightness of a room, it ensures the space is adequately illuminated. Illumination levels can be adjusted to meet the needs of different activities, and proper lighting levels improve productivity and comfort. Mole. A unit used to measure the amount of substance equivalent to 6.022 x 10 squared cubed particles. Substance amount. Chemical quantity. Atomic amount. Particulate count. How does the concept of a mole help in chemical reactions? The concept of a mole is fundamental in chemistry as it provides a consistent way to measure the substance amount in a reaction. It allows scientists to determine the exact chemical quantity of elements involved in a process. By using atomic amounts, chemists can predict the products of reactions with precision. The particulate count, 6.022 x 10 squared cubed particles, is used to convert between the macroscopic quantities and individual particles in a substance. Torque. A measure of rotational force applied to an object, often used in mechanics. Rotational force. Turning force. Moment of force. Force applied. How does torque affect the performance of machines and vehicles? Torque plays a critical role in the performance of machines and vehicles, as it determines the rotational force applied to components like engines or gears. The higher the turning force, the more efficiently a machine or vehicle can operate. It also refers to the moment of force influencing how an object rotates around an axis. By controlling the force applied, engineers can design machines that work smoothly and with optimal power output. Micron. A unit of length equal to 1/1,000,000th of a meter, used to measure very small objects. Micrometer. Small measure. Tiny dimension. Fine measurement. How are microns used in measuring objects in scientific experiments? Microns are used in scientific experiments to measure extremely small objects, such as bacteria or particles. A micrometer can measure these tiny units with great precision, allowing researchers to work with the smallest measure possible. These tiny dimensions are important in fields like microbiology, where even a few microns can make a difference. Additionally, fine measurements are needed in industries such as semiconductor manufacturing, where accuracy is crucial. Refoulement. The forced return of refugees or asylum seekers to a country where they are likely to face persecution or harm. Deportation. Exile. Rejection. Banishment. What are your thoughts on the issue of refoulement in international law? Refoulement is a critical issue as it directly contradicts the principle of non-refoulement, which aims to protect refugees from deportation to dangerous territories. Many argue that deportation should only happen under strict conditions, but rejection or banishment may result in human rights violations. Emigre. A person who leaves their own country to settle permanently in another, often due to political reasons. Expatriate. Immigrant. Refugee. Displaced person. How would you describe the lifestyle of an emigre compared to someone who has never left their country? The lifestyle of an emigre can be challenging, as they have to adapt to a new culture and language. While expatriates may live more comfortably, they still face the struggle of being far from home. On the other hand, refugees or displaced persons may not have the same choice and often experience instability in their new lives. Estimated time of arrival, ETA. The predicted time when a vehicle or person is expected to arrive at a particular destination. Arrival time. Arrival estimate. Expected arrival. Predicted time of arrival. How do you feel about airlines providing accurate ETAs for passengers? ETAs are extremely helpful for passengers as they allow them to anticipate when they'll reach their destination. Accurate arrival times can help reduce waiting time and allow passengers to coordinate further travel plans. Additionally, with a reliable ETA, they can stay informed in case of delays or early arrivals. Repatriate. To send someone back to their own country, especially a prisoner of war or a refugee. Return. Restore. Reconnect. Reassign. Do you think it's always appropriate to repatriate refugees to their homeland? Repatriation can be complex, as it often depends on the safety of the individual. While it's necessary to return people to their homeland when possible, it's not always appropriate if the situation in the country is unsafe. Sometimes, restoration and reconnecting individuals with their roots can be a peaceful solution. To expatriate. To voluntarily leave one's native country and live in another, typically for work or personal reasons. Emigrate. Relocate. Move abroad. Resettle. Why do some people choose to expatriate, and what challenges might they face? People choose to expatriate for various reasons, such as better job opportunities, lifestyle changes, or a desire to experience a new culture. However, expatriates often face challenges like adapting to a new environment, navigating different social norms, and maintaining relationships with family back home while living abroad. To detrain. To leave or get off a train after arrival at a station. Disembark. Exit. Get off. Alight. What do you think is the best way to ensure smooth detrainment for passengers at busy stations? To ensure smooth detrainment, clear signage, announcements, and well-organized platforms are essential. Disembarking should be a quick process to avoid crowding. Passengers should exit the train in an orderly manner, ensuring no one is left behind or blocked in. This minimizes delays and ensures safety during the alight process. To deplane. To exit an airplane after it has landed at its destination. Disembark. Exit. Get off the plane. Alight the aircraft. Why is it important for passengers to deplane in an orderly fashion? Deplaning in an orderly fashion ensures safety and efficiency. By exiting the aircraft in a structured manner, passengers avoid accidents and delays. Disembarking is especially crucial in busy airports, as a well-organized process facilitates a smoother transition for everyone and speeds up the turnover time for the aircraft. To alight. To get off or disembark from a vehicle, such as a train or bus. Disembark. Exit. Get off. Depart. How do you think people feel when they alight from a long journey? After a long journey, many passengers feel a sense of relief and comfort once they alight. The moment of disembarkation is often anticipated, especially after long flights or train rides, as people are eager to stretch and begin the journey on solid ground. It's a mixture of exhaustion and excitement. To detour. To take an alternative route due to an obstacle or for a more scenic route. Divert. Reroute. Bypass. Circumvent. Can you think of a situation where you had to take a detour while traveling? I once had to detour when a major road was closed due to construction. Instead of following the usual route, I had to divert through smaller streets. Although it was inconvenient, it gave me the opportunity to discover new areas that I might have missed otherwise. It made the journey more interesting despite the delay. To derail. To cause a train or vehicle to go off its tracks or course, often due to an accident. Unsettle. Disrupt. Interrupt. Unhinge. Have you ever heard of a train derailing? How do you think it affects the passengers? A train derailing can be a very frightening experience for passengers. It typically disrupts the entire journey, causing delays and sometimes injuries. Unsettling events like these make people nervous about their safety, and the immediate response is to seek assistance and avoid further disruptions to the course of travel. To ply. To operate or travel regularly along a specific route, especially used for transport services like buses, ferries, or taxis. Operate. Traverse. Service. Run. Why do you think public transportation services ply specific routes? Public transportation services ply specific routes to maintain consistency and efficiency in their schedules. Operating on fixed paths allows them to serve regular passengers and ensure access to essential destinations. Whether it's a bus or ferry, these routes provide convenience, helping people travel without unnecessary detours. To naturalize. To grant citizenship to a foreigner or make someone a full member of a country or community. Integrate. Assimilate. Adopt. Transform. What do you think is the most important step in the naturalization process? The most important step in the naturalization process is probably understanding and adhering to the country's laws and culture. To integrate into society successfully, applicants must prove their commitment by learning the language, respecting traditions, and being a responsible member of the community. It's a process of mutual transformation. Bed and breakfast. A small hotel or guest house offering overnight accommodation and breakfast. Inn. Guest house. Lodging. Homestay. How do you feel about staying in a bed and breakfast compared to a traditional hotel? Staying in a bed and breakfast is often a much more personal and homely experience compared to larger hotels. The innkeepers usually offer a warm welcome, and the intimate atmosphere makes it feel like you're a part of the family. While hotels offer more luxury, a guesthouse provides a more comfortable, cozy environment. Internally displaced person, IDP. A person who has been forced to leave their home due to conflict, natural disasters, or other emergencies but remains within their own country. Refugee. Evacuee. Dispossessed. Homeless. How do you think governments can help internally displaced persons? Governments should provide essential resources like food, shelter, and healthcare to internally displaced persons, IDPs. Ensuring their safety and helping them regain stability is crucial. Additionally, offering long-term solutions such as employment opportunities and housing could help IDPs reintegrate into society and rebuild their lives. Agritourism. A form of tourism that involves visiting farms or agricultural areas to experience rural life and activities. Farm tourism. Rural tourism. Countryside tours. Agricultural tourism. How do you think agritourism has impacted rural communities? Agritourism has greatly benefited rural communities by providing an alternative source of income. It not only promotes farm tourism but also helps preserve traditional agricultural practices. It allows visitors to experience rural life firsthand while benefiting local farmers and encouraging sustainable tourism practices. Staycation. A vacation spent at home or near home, rather than traveling to a distant location. Home vacation. Local getaway. At-home holiday. Stay-at-home trip. Do you think staycations are becoming more popular? Why? Yes, staycations have become more popular, especially as people seek to enjoy local attractions while avoiding the stress of long-distance travel. A stay-at-home trip allows for a more relaxed experience and can be just as refreshing as traveling abroad. Many prefer local getaways because they are convenient and cost-effective. Luggage carousel. A rotating conveyor belt at airports where passengers collect their checked-in luggage after a flight. Baggage carousel. Luggage belt. Baggage claim area. Luggage pickup. What do you think could improve the experience of collecting luggage at an airport? The experience of collecting luggage at an airport could be improved with more efficient luggage carousels and quicker baggage handling processes. In addition, having more signs and clear directions would help passengers easily locate their luggage. Speeding up the luggage claim process can make the whole travel experience smoother. Hostelry. An establishment that provides lodging and food, especially a small or budget hotel. Inn. Guesthouse. Lodge. Bed and breakfast. What do you think is the appeal of staying in a hostelry compared to larger hotels? Staying in a hostelry often provides a more intimate and personalized experience compared to larger hotels. The smaller size makes it feel cozier, and guests usually receive more individualized attention. Inns or guesthouses may also offer a unique charm that larger establishments cannot replicate, making them attractive for travelers seeking local experiences. Rack rate. The standard or full price for a hotel room, before any discounts or promotions are applied. Standard rate. Full price. List price. Published rate. How do hotels typically determine their rack rate, and how often do they change it? Hotels typically determine their rack rate based on factors such as location, demand, and the season. The full price may change depending on availability or special events in the area. Hotel managers usually adjust the published rate to maximize occupancy and profit, offering discounts or packages during low-demand periods. Valet. A person employed to park cars, assist guests with luggage, or manage other tasks in hotels, restaurants, or large events. Parking attendant. Bellhop. Concierge. Porter. How important do you think valets are to the overall guest experience in luxury hotels? Valets are crucial to the guest experience in luxury hotels. They offer convenience by parking cars and assisting with luggage, making guests feel welcomed and pampered. Having a valet is a symbol of high-class service, and it elevates the overall experience by saving time and ensuring that guests feel well taken care of. Bucket shop. A business or establishment, often related to travel, that offers cheap, sometimes low-quality services or products. Discount agency. Cut price service. Bargain shop. Travel agency. Have you ever encountered a bucket shop, and how did it affect your experience as a traveler? I've heard of travelers encountering bucket shops, particularly when they purchase discounted travel packages. These low-cost services can sometimes result in disappointing experiences, as the deals are often too good to be true. Such agencies might offer unreliable services or unexpected fees, making the travel experience less enjoyable. Tourist trap. A place or attraction that is designed to attract tourists, often with overpriced goods or services. Tourist hotspot. Tourist destination. Commercialized site. Overpriced attraction. What is your opinion on tourist traps? Are they beneficial or harmful to local communities? Tourist traps can be both beneficial and harmful. On one hand, they bring in revenue and create jobs for local communities. On the other hand, they can lead to overpriced products and exploitation of tourists. Ideally, these attractions should maintain authenticity while benefiting the local economy without compromising the tourist experience. Asylum seeker. A person who has fled their home country and is seeking refuge in another country, hoping to be granted asylum. Refugee. Immigrant. Displaced person. Migrant. What do you think should be done to improve the process for asylum seekers? The process for asylum seekers should be made more efficient and humane. Streamlining immigration processes, ensuring that refugees receive fair hearings, and providing them with adequate support in terms of housing, healthcare, and legal assistance are crucial steps. It is essential that asylum seekers are treated with dignity and respect. Naturalization process. The process by which a foreign citizen becomes a legal citizen of a country. Citizenship process. Immigrant integration. Legalization. Nationalization. How would you describe the naturalization process in your country? The naturalization process in my country involves several steps, including residency requirements, language proficiency, and an understanding of civic duties. It aims to integrate immigrants and ensure they are fully prepared to become active and informed citizens. Legalization involves a commitment to the country's laws and values, visa waiver. A policy that allows foreign nationals to enter a country without a visa for a short period, typically for tourism or business. Exemption. Waiver program. Visa-free entry. Entry exemption. Do you think visa waivers encourage more tourism and business in a country? Visa waivers certainly encourage more tourism and business by reducing bureaucratic barriers. By offering visa-free entry, countries attract more visitors, which boosts the local economy. It also makes travel more convenient and encourages cross-border interactions, fostering international relationships, border control. The regulation and monitoring of people, goods, and services moving across the border to prevent illegal activities. Border security. Immigration control. Customs enforcement. Border protection. How do you think border control can be improved to balance security and tourism? Border control can be improved by using advanced technology for monitoring and enhancing security while ensuring that tourists face minimal delays. Immigration control should be efficient, allowing tourists and business people to pass quickly while preventing illegal activities like human trafficking. The goal is a safe yet welcoming process, green card. A permit allowing a foreign national to live and work permanently in the United States. Permanent resident card. Resident permit. Immigration card. Work visa. What do you think is the most important benefit of having a green card in the United States? The most important benefit of having a green card is the ability to live and work permanently in the United States without restrictions. It also grants access to social services, education, and healthcare, making it a crucial step for immigrants seeking stability. Moreover, it offers the opportunity to apply for U.S. citizenship in the future. Immigration reform. The process of changing laws and policies concerning immigration to improve or address new challenges. Immigration policy change. Legal reform. Immigration overhaul. Policy adjustment. How do you feel about the need for immigration reform in many countries? Immigration reform is essential to address the evolving needs of countries. Legal reform ensures that immigration laws are fair and up to date with current social and economic conditions. A well-planned overhaul can create better pathways for immigrants and ensure that immigration processes are more transparent and just. Permanent residency. The legal status granted to immigrants, allowing them to live in a country indefinitely without being a citizen. Residency status. Long-term residency. Settled status. Indefinite stay. What do you think are the key benefits of having permanent residency in a foreign country? Permanent residency offers many benefits, including the ability to live, work, and study without restrictions. It provides a sense of security and stability while offering access to the same rights as citizens, such as healthcare, education, and social services. For many, it represents a long-term commitment to a new home. Human trafficking. The illegal trade of humans for exploitation, often involving forced labor or sexual exploitation. Forced labor. Trafficking network. Slavery. Exploitation. What do you think should be done to combat human trafficking in international borders? To combat human trafficking, there needs to be stronger law enforcement across borders and more collaboration between countries. Public awareness campaigns can educate people about the risks, while governments should invest in victim support services. Eliminating exploitation requires a global, multifaceted approach to protect vulnerable individuals. Civic engagement. The participation of individuals in activities aimed at improving their community or influencing government policy. Community involvement. Political participation. Social involvement. Public involvement. How can civic engagement contribute to a country's development? Civic engagement plays a vital role in a country's development by encouraging people to actively participate in shaping policies and community initiatives. When citizens engage in political processes, social projects, or volunteering, they contribute to a stronger, more inclusive society. This helps create policies that reflect the needs of the population. Migration policy. A set of rules or laws governing the movement of people from one country to another. Immigration policy. Border policy. Residency policy. Visa regulations. How do you think migration policies impact the economy of a country? Migration policies significantly affect a country's economy by influencing the flow of labor, skills, and capital. Well-designed policies can attract skilled workers, fostering innovation and growth. However, restrictive policies may lead to a shortage of labor or hinder global talent exchange, which could ultimately affect economic development. Refugee status. The recognition granted to individuals fleeing their country due to fear of persecution, allowing them to seek asylum and protection. Asylum status. Refugee protection. Sanctuary status. Displaced person status. What do you think is the most important factor in determining refugee status? The most important factor in determining refugee status is whether the individual has a legitimate fear of persecution in their home country due to factors like race, religion, or political beliefs. Countries need a thorough process to evaluate asylum seekers' claims to ensure that those truly in need of protection receive the support they deserve. Cross-border travel. Traveling across national boundaries, typically for leisure, business, or migration purposes. International travel. Border crossing. Transnational travel. Global travel. What are some of the challenges people face when engaging in cross-border travel? Cross-border travel can present challenges such as visa restrictions, language barriers, and differences in customs regulations. Travelers may face difficulties with currency exchange, navigating unfamiliar laws, and even unexpected border delays. However, with proper planning and research, many of these challenges can be mitigated for a smooth experience. Dual citizenship. The status of being a citizen of two countries simultaneously, usually through birth, marriage, or naturalization. Dual nationality. Multiple citizenship. Dual nationality status. Second citizenship. What do you think are the advantages and disadvantages of having dual citizenship? Dual citizenship offers the advantage of access to multiple country services, such as healthcare, education, and employment. It allows individuals to enjoy the benefits of both nations, including political participation. However, it may also lead to legal complexities, such as tax obligations and military service requirements in both countries. Quota system. A system where a set number of individuals from a particular group or category are allowed to enter or participate. Allocation method. Limit system. Contingency plan. Set limit. How do you think quota systems influence immigration or job opportunities in certain countries? The quota system significantly impacts immigration and job opportunities by limiting the number of people allowed to enter based on specific criteria. This method ensures that a country can regulate the influx of migrants, balancing its economy and resources. However, it may also create challenges by restricting diversity and opportunities. Cultural assimilation. The process by which a minority group gradually adopts the customs and attitudes of the dominant culture in a society. Integration. Acculturation. Conformity. Homogenization. In your opinion, is cultural assimilation always a positive process? Why or why not? Cultural assimilation can be both positive and negative. On the one hand, it helps individuals integrate into society and reduces cultural barriers. However, it can sometimes lead to the loss of unique cultural identities. While integration is important for social harmony, it is also essential to preserve diversity and celebrate multiculturalism. Detention center. A facility where individuals, especially immigrants, are held temporarily, usually for security reasons or to await deportation. Holding facility. Jail. Prison. Immigrant center. What do you think should be the conditions of a detention center to ensure fairness and safety? Detention centers should provide humane conditions that respect the rights and dignity of individuals. They should include adequate healthcare, food, and safe living conditions. Furthermore, there should be clear legal processes to ensure individuals are not unfairly detained or subjected to mistreatment while awaiting their immigration status determination. Undocumented immigrant. A person who enters or stays in a country without the proper legal documentation or authorization. Illegal immigrant. Unauthorized migrant. Non-citizen. Border crosser. What challenges do undocumented immigrants face when living in a foreign country? Undocumented immigrants face numerous challenges, including the constant fear of deportation, limited access to healthcare, and restricted job opportunities. Without proper legal documentation, they may also struggle to integrate fully into society and may be exploited by employers or others. Their lack of rights makes life incredibly difficult in a foreign land. International student visa. A permit allowing a foreign student to study in a country for a set period. Student permit. Study visa. Educational visa. Academic visa. Do you think international student visas are beneficial for both students and host countries? Yes, international student visas offer a mutual benefit. For students, they provide an opportunity to gain world-class education and experience in a new culture. For host countries, these visas bring diversity, cultural exchange, and potential future skilled workers who contribute to the local economy. The benefits of these visas extend beyond academics to societal enrichment. Ethnic enclave. A geographic area where a particular ethnic group lives, often forming a distinct community within a larger society. Cultural district. Minority area. Immigrant neighborhood. Expatriate community. What do you think is the role of ethnic enclaves in promoting cultural diversity in cities? Ethnic enclaves play a key role in promoting cultural diversity as they serve as hubs for the preservation and celebration of unique cultural traditions. They allow people from different backgrounds to interact while maintaining a connection to their heritage. However, these communities should also strive to integrate with the larger society for social cohesion. Diaspora. The dispersion of a group of people from their original homeland to different parts of the world. Expatriate community. Migrant community. Displaced population. Global community. How do you think a diaspora community can maintain connections with its homeland? A diaspora community can maintain strong ties with its homeland through cultural events, media, remittances, and regular visits. Many diaspora members stay involved by participating in community organizations, sharing traditions, and supporting initiatives in their home country. This keeps the sense of cultural identity alive while fostering global connections. Cultural diversity. The presence of multiple cultural or ethnic groups within a society, creating a range of cultural perspectives. Multiculturalism. Ethnic variety. Pluralism. Cross-culturalism. Why do you think cultural diversity is important for a society? Cultural diversity enriches society by bringing different perspectives, ideas, and traditions. It fosters creativity, innovation, and problem-solving by introducing new ways of thinking. A diverse society also promotes mutual understanding, respect, and inclusion, which is vital for social harmony and economic growth. Sponsorship. The act of supporting or endorsing someone for a specific purpose, such as for immigration, employment, or education. Endorsement. Support. Patronage. Backing. What role do you think sponsorship plays in the immigration process? Sponsorship plays a vital role in the immigration process as it provides the necessary support for individuals to live and work in a foreign country. Sponsors often guarantee financial support, ensuring that immigrants can integrate and support themselves. Sponsorship also shows a commitment to helping newcomers thrive and contribute to society. Emigration. The act of leaving one's own country to settle permanently in another. Relocation. Migration. Exodus. Departure. What are some common reasons people choose to emigrate from their home countries? People emigrate for a variety of reasons, including seeking better economic opportunities, escaping political instability, or reuniting with family. Many are driven by the desire for improved living standards, access to better education, or more peaceful conditions. Emigration offers a chance for a new life and future prospects. Settlement services. Services that help immigrants or refugees adjust to their new country, such as assistance with housing, language, and legal issues. Integration services. Immigrant assistance. Resettlement support. Refugee aid. How important are settlement services for immigrants or refugees arriving in a new country? Settlement services are incredibly important for immigrants and refugees as they help individuals adjust to their new surroundings. These services often provide crucial support such as language lessons, help with finding housing, and legal guidance. They enable newcomers to establish themselves and integrate more smoothly into society, ensuring a better quality of life.